Hey guys, it's Chris. From gooey jellyfish falling from the sky, yeah, you heard that right, to mysteries about your own body. Here are 9 unexplainable natural phenomena. Number 9. Tabbys Star. While there are countless stars in the sky, when it comes to the star KIC 8462852, which is nicknamed Tabbys Star, which makes that a lot easier to say, it stands out above all the rest of the stars in the sky because of how its light diminishes. Over the 150,000 stars discovered by the Kepler Space Telescope, it's the only one that has its light fade in a way that science can't explain. If you think about our sun, the only time the light fades or gets blocked is when the moon passes in front of it, in the form of a lunar eclipse, or if a planet goes by it, which is hard for us to perceive given that we're on the planet. These things happen to other stars in the universe, and it helps astronomers determine what's rotating around it. But that's not the case with Tabbys Star. Its light output drops regularly, sometimes even up to 20% at a time, and yet there's no logical explanation as to why it's happening. For this to occur at such a rate, that would require a ton of planets to come together to block it. But there aren't enough planets around Tabbys Star to do that. There's also the theory that dust clouds from within the star are causing it, but the star itself is not old enough to have caused such a phenomenon. There are many other theories as to why this happens to this particular star, but as of yet, none of them have been definitively proven. Number 8. Star jelly. One of the weirdest things to fall from the sky must be star jelly. Unlike rain, sleet, hail, or snow, star jelly is gelatinous, which isn't something you'd expect to see coming down from the sky. Because it's still a liquid in nature, it evaporates once it hits the ground. But numerous people have seen and taken pictures of this star jelly before it disappears, and these pictures were later proven to be real. In fact, some people have witnessed it raining down from the sky, causing all sorts of rumors and speculation about where it comes from and how it gets created. Side note, wouldn't it be super gross to get caught in a star jelly shower? Ugh. But this is where the mystery of star jelly truly lies. Scientists have gotten pieces of it and studied it, and quite confoundingly, the substance doesn't contain any DNA of any sort. This has raised a singular question that no one has been able to answer yet. How on earth does star jelly form? And just to be clear, star jelly is not something that's only occurred recently. There are reports of star jelly going back as far as the 14th century, which means that star jelly hasn't just been around for a long time, but it's something that's continued despite the great changes in the world. So what do you think it is? Have you ever seen it? Let me know in the comments below. Number 7. Sixth sense. Have you ever had a time in your life where you needed to decide on something really important, and your body and mind just kind of point to something, and you feel that it's the right thing to do? This is your gut instinct, your intuition, or your sixth sense. Yet we can't really explain why people have these bursts of intuition at all. What's more, there are varying levels of it depending on the person. You've likely heard of mother's intuition, where a mother can tell if a child is in trouble or if one of their friends is going to be a bad influence on them from the moment they meet. And then there's business sixth sense, where you can just tell if a deal's going to be good or bad, and so you change course appropriately. And just on the flip side of all of this, some people have no intuition at all. So what causes these feelings of knowledge that we clearly don't have? Some theorize it's because we pick up small pieces of information, and our brain subconsciously deciphers and feeds it to you without you even knowing. But because the very nature of intuition is hard to study, there's likely going to be no solid proof of how it's done. And now for something you probably do every day. But first, be sure to subscribe if you're new here for more fun facts about our world. Number 6. The yawn. In terms of body function, most are known and documented, with a few exceptions, of course. One of those exceptions is the yawn. An evolutionary curiosity that has boggled the minds of scientists for decades. When you yawn, your jaw and mouth open widely, and then you inhale a ton of air, but then you exhale it very slowly. Look up any definition of yawn and you'll find the word involuntary, because you yourself aren't consciously thinking about the yawn, but the yawn just happens anyways. What's more, there have been studies about how yawning is contagious, and that you can see someone yawn or hear someone yawn, or even just think about someone yawning, and then you'll do it yourself out of reflex. Mythbusters did a test on this, and they deemed it plausible. As for why it exists at all, well, no one's really sure. There are no clues as to how this evolved into our systems, and it should be noted that humans aren't the only ones who yawn. Animals do it too. My dog yawns all the time. So how did this happen, and why does it happen? There are some theories on this matter, including cooling the brain, chemical imbalances, keeping people alert. The notions are many, but the answers are few. Number 5. Blood sky. There's an old sailor saying that goes, "Red sky in the morning, sailor's warning. Red sky at night, sailor's delight." This is a reference to how the sky can sometimes turn red at sunrise and sunset, signaling bad or good things coming. But in El Salvador in April 2016, they had their own red sky, and it's one that hasn't been explained. According to reports, a bright red flash pierced the sky and turned everything red, and it lasted anywhere from a few seconds to a full minute, and that's depending on who you talk to, but when it was gone, the sky was left somewhat pink. Given the fast nature of this event, it's clearly nothing like what sailors or fishermen see on the sea. What's more, the town where this was documented, Chalchuapa, is very much inland in relation to El Salvador, so if it was being seen there, it was possibly being seen all over. Atmospheric conditions, reflections, and more have all been speculated to be the cause, but no one has an answer for what actually happened that day. Number 4. Raining animals. While it may seem like something out of a nightmare, the phenomenon of raining animals is quite real. And it's happened quite often with a wide variety of animals. You might have heard stories that spiders have rained down from the sky, and they have. But other animals have also been caught in this mind-boggling phenomenon. They include fish, tadpoles, frogs, worms, and even snakes. And get this one, alligators. You'll notice that these are all flightless animals, so that begs the question of how they even got into the sky. And the easy answer is that a tornado or a waterspout picked them all up, and once they were done, they came back down to Earth. The problem is that certain cases with the creatures falling from the sky have been miles inland, so nowhere near where a waterspout would have been. Plus, if it was as simple as that, the animals would have dropped to the ground seconds after the event. But that's not what happens. So how do they stay up in the air for so long? Though many people have witnessed this phenomenon, scientists haven't. And because of this, the event can't be predicted and it can't be studied at length. Number 3. Fairy circles. In the Namib Desert, there's an odd formation called the fairy circles that has perplexed all who see it. These are bare patches of land where nothing seems to grow, and the circles can range anywhere from 6 to 45 feet in diameter, and can also take the shape of a honeycomb. Combined, they cover 2,500 kilometers of land in the desert. The theories around these circles are numerous and varied. There's the belief that radioactivity caused certain plants to die, and that caused the weird formations. Or it could be something in the soil. Or the most plausible theory is that they're caused by termites living underneath the circles. But at present, no real answers have been found. And just as interesting, while the fairy circles were once thought to be found solely in Namibia, in 2014, very similar circles were discovered in Australia. Number 2. Morning glory clouds. In Australia, there's a particular type of cloud that appears somewhat often, and it makes an amazing shape. This is the mystery of the morning glory clouds. The best way to picture these clouds is to think of long, thin tubes that stretch out for miles. In fact, the longest measured morning glory clouds have gone 600 miles in length, which is much longer than most clouds would even dare to be. And because of the tube shape, they're rather unique in appearance. And the truth is, no one knows why the clouds form like tubes. There's no explanation. We do know that they often form in Australia during the changing of the seasons, but how that correlates to such distinctive and massive shapes is truly unknown. In fact, it's so unknown that not even computer models can understand the forming of morning glory clouds, which proves just how mysterious they are that not even technology can understand them. There are plenty of theories though, including how water and certain breezes come together to form the unique shape. But it's not proven because the morning glory clouds don't appear at regular intervals. Number 1. Near-death experiences. So what happens when we die? This question is one of the biggest questions in the world, and there are many theories depending on who you believe as a person. Some people believe in heaven or an underworld. Others believe in reincarnation, and some are adamant that when you die, it's just over. There have been numerous cases over the years of people having near-death experiences, or being technically dead with no pulse and no heartbeat, and then seeing something from beyond this world. One of the most famous stories is that of a light at the end of a dark tunnel, while others have stated they've seen heaven and have even spent time there. Some people have even written books about their experiences, and others have even seen their whole life flash before their eyes. But why do these people have these experiences at all? And just as important, why doesn't everyone have them? And there's no hard answer, but there are some theories. One is that while your heart and pulse may have stopped, your brain technically hasn't. It's firing off various things to try to get the body going again. And these signals are sending information to you in various ways that makes you think you're seeing something truly profound when maybe you're not. Others say that these are nothing more than hallucinations made by your brain to try and cope with what's happening to your body. And yet there are many who swear they saw what was beyond, and nothing is gonna convince them otherwise. Well, thanks for watching. What did you think of these unexplained natural phenomena? Which one was your favorite? Do you know of any other mysterious phenomena that haven't been explained? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to World List, and I'll see you next time.